May this be one of the best moments of your life. You're listening to the BusinessMirror podcast for a broader look on business with Senior Editor Dennis Estopace.
I'm Dennis Estopace, and welcome to Tuesdays with Tito, a podcast to be anchored by Tito Valiente, one of the 100 honorees in the Centenary of Philippine Cinema and columnist for the BusinessMirror newspaper. Mr. Valiente will share with us one of the many pieces he wrote for his column titled Annotations, which is published every Friday in the op-ed section of the BusinessMirror. We hope you enjoy your Tuesday with Tito.
My night bus and the well-lighted towns. I reached that conclusion one late night as the night bus that was taking me to my small city passed by town after town in Batangas, Laguna, Quezon, and then Bicol. It was one of those rare trips. Usually before leaving the metropolis, I am already deep in sleep, the blanket a fixture in these regular journeys, the sweater making me feel cozy. That night I was looking out, trying to find the moon, which the calendar said would be shaped in full. The prediction did not consider the clouds that seemed to be rolling and whining from the far-off hills, now gray and blue, because of lights coming from the edges of the night. First to light the roads that night were the lampposts that had similar gaudy designs. Some 5 or 10 years ago, the mayors and local leaders appeared to have agreed on one aesthetics: lights that shone as candy-colored bulbs set against each other. The impression was they were supplied by the same production company that believed in technicolor dreams and beacons for the dark. But lampposts, in poor taste, do not create a sleepless village. Lighted houses do. One could count the houses that did not have lights. The dark houses were few and far in between. You could count them. As the bus turned slowly at corners and further slowed down on short bridges, I noticed that many houses had lights at the porches, with many rooms bright at midnight. Where did the night go? I asked myself. It was not poetry. It was the prose of the situation. People were awake at 11 in the evening, at 1 in the morning. There were areas where the road was white because of the lights. What must be happening in those rooms? The bus was not meant to observe the intimacies, the selves in those rooms, and the lack of it in those rooms that at night was made to be bright as day. It was easy to think that many people could not sleep in dark rooms. It was also easier to think that people came home late at night. What time do people come home now? In another generation, one talked of coming home late from work, but that was when work happened at daytime. But what if the work began in the late afternoon? Would regularly coming home after work still be seen as staying late? I looked again outside and saw movements in those rooms, busy with yellow and white lights. Allow me to tell you the story. In those rooms without sleep. In one room, a bedroom, a wife was tired from work. Her husband wrapped his silence around her weariness. They hugged each other till the night went deep, forgetting the light was still there. At the porch, a young man wished there was no light at all. He knocked repeatedly, almost banging the door as his old mother opened it with tears in her eyes. She knew the son would leave again. She knew she would never see him. In the living room, yellow with the bulb that burrowed gently from the dying sun, a father was eating a dinner. That was a breakfast. That was a confession. He had lost his job, but he promised he would find one again. The wife understood. She had saved much. In what would have been a poor household, she was serving food that did not deserve any kind of shadow, any sadness. Just before the forest of ancient houses, a man was standing. He was going to the city, and he would come back wealthy, and he would buy one of those houses. He would keep the house lighted day and night because he would be alone there, lonely with all the riches from luck and scared of his bounty. Walking past the convenience stores that were not meant to close at any time of the day or night, a man and a woman were going to similar directions. The man was leaving the town, and the woman was leaving her husband. My night went on and on with my stories and inventions of life. I should sleep, but my nights give me times that need to be interrupted. Lights are breaks, and if they are on for a long time, the nights are no more nights. I would like to summon Juan Gelman, the Argentine poet, to light my own meditation with his lines from a poem, Things They Don't Know. And I quote, that talks of darkness but not of the nights. Dark times, filled with light, the sun spreads sunlight over the city, split by sudden sirens. Unquote. But Gelman is the same poet who in his open letter to my son, and I quote, sings of a burning soul that dips a finger in your name, scrawls your name on the night's walls. What to do with our nights where lights are not diminishing, the way the Czech poet Katerina Rodchenkova describes in Come Nightfall, that evening stream of people with their lingering voices, the diminishing light withdrawing from the streets. For her, she does not want to be among them. All those radiant people and wrecks, I among them, exposing my body to the sun and my life to random interpretations. I think that's what night is all about. The nights are almost like days, opening ourselves to be interpreted as the sun seems to be around but not there, as the moon regrets its monthly duties, even as it, behind the clouds, remains.
Thank you for listening to the Business Mirror podcast. For a broader look on business, follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Business Mirror. Until next time.